Thursday thought. So, yeah, federal elections coming up in about 10 days. And generally, as a non-citizen who's ineligible to vote, most elections are quite abstract concepts for me over here in Australia because I don't really have a voice to say. Like, I'm ineligible to vote, so I'm pretty much at the mercy of how it all goes. And I usually don't, try to sort of put myself out there as overly political, even though like I do have some pretty strong views, and most of them revolve around, a strong sense of justice and, and basically sick of people lying. And be warned, sorry, this video is going to go a bit longer than my normal 1-minute format, but I just need to put it out there. So essentially for the local electorate of Griffith, where my business is located, I'm endorsing Terri Butler. And the reasons why, number one, Labor's going to bring in a federal ICAC, which is going to be retrospective. And so, it's basically the pollies at the highest level are not being held accountable at all, and they need to be. And it's an absolute travesty to the nation that it hasn't happened. The Liberals promised it at their last election, and they keep crapping on about how they presented it, and Labor stopped them. Yeah, the thing they presented had no weight. Like, it was going to let them just keep getting away with the same crap they've been getting away. And you always look at the people that don't want something in are usually the ones who are perpetrating it, It's like, it's a projection thing, right? Second of all, she is the current shadow minister for the environment and water. So if Labor get in, she will be the minister for the environment and waterways, right? Now, I personally give a stuff about that sort of thing. I care about koala habitats getting destroyed by property developers. I care about the Murray-Darling Basin being dammed up by cotton farmers at the top end of it, which is effectively creating an ecological disaster throughout the rest of the waterway. Things like that really do tick me off. And I personally think that if our local Member of Parliament is the Environment and Water Minister, aren't they the absolute best person to take your concerns to? Because they're essentially making the calls on that. That's their portfolio. As opposed to, say, some Greens guy who on his adverts on YouTube says that if he gets in, he's going to force the government to do a whole bunch of things. I'm like, you're not going to force anyone, mate. Like, unless you are the government, you can't. Well, you're going to walk into Parliament with an Uzi and say, do what I tell you to do. Like, honestly, how do you force a government when you've only got 2, maybe 3 members voted in, max? Because at the moment, they've only got 1. Honestly, like, some people's objective reality is not actual reality. But aside from that, the other thing as well in regards to to get Terri in to maintain a Labor presence is that, as it has been shown empirically over the last 30 years, Labor has consistently been the better economic managers. And right now, the mob that had already doubled or tripled the debt before they got us into the pandemic, compared to previous governments, now we're like in the trillions. Like, it's absolutely mental, like how much debt Australia is in. Like, we can't trust them. A 5-year-old would do a better job than Josh Frydenberg. Straight up. I'm saying it. Like, and the thing is, you can't say, oh, he's just anti-liberals. No, man, I actually didn't mind Johnny Howard. I actually thought, like, there was a few things I didn't like about him, but there was quite a lot of stuff that I thought that I was like, yeah, no, that was the right way to go about, I don't actually had a problem with him. And I never actually had that much of a problem with Turnbull either. But this current mob, it's all about backyard deals, making their friends rich, making themselves rich, and basically lying about it to the public. So basically, yeah, the way I see it, if you want an ICAC, you want better economic managers, and you want a direct line to a local MP who's going to be the head of the environment and water portfolio for the country, then yeah, vote Terri. And that's what I think. It's logical.